Thank you for taking time to watch the 39th Street Church of Christ Daily Devotional. The devotional today is God Doesn't Like Masks by Jack Williams.
You know what? I don't like masks. I'm mask challenged. This one just broke. I don't like to put them on. I have trouble breathing with them on. Maybe that's psychological. I don't know what it is, but I don't like my mouth being covered. I don't like masks. But you know, God doesn't like masks either. Now, I'm not talking about that kind. That's really neither here nor there. But the reality is, in the Bible, you read about people who sadly wore masks. You think about, for example, the Apostle Peter in the Galatian letter. He was speaking to those Christians, speaking to others, and then here came some who were somewhat from Jerusalem. Well, he was guilty of dissimulation, in other words, hypocrisy. He professed to be one thing, but whenever he saw somebody else, he acted a different way. He had on a mask. You know, the Bible is filled with people like that. In the book of Matthew, the 15th chapter, you find where Jesus derided those who would draw nigh with their lips, had a mask on. But he said, the heart is far from me. You see, they thought that they could say certain things and do certain things outwardly. It would shield what they were really like. And that's a sad thing. God knows. God looks beyond the mask. We might fool or deceive others for a while, but we never fool God. We need to realize that as we go through life, we have a choice. We have a choice to be moved by the faith of God. You know, becoming a Christian, Galatians, the 2nd chapter and verse 20, the Apostle Paul says that his life was now gone. And the life that I now live in the flesh, he said, I live by the faith of the Son of God who loved me and gave himself for me. Now you can find a little more about that in the book of Romans, the 6th chapter. You see, whenever we become children of God, we, in Romans, the 6th chapter, put that old man of sin to death. And we rise to walk in the newness of life. Now, Paul gave that description of conversion because there were some who thought they could wear a mask. You know, I'm a servant of God. I've put the old man of sin to death. But you know, I think I'll just continue in sin and God's grace is going to take care of it. Well, his response in verse 1 was, God forbid. And then he gave that account of their conversion. He spoke of it later in Romans the 6th chapter. He said, you were servants of sin, but you obeyed from the heart that form of doctrine. Remember that heart? It's a heart change. He said, being then made free from sin, you became servants of righteousness. No mask. You know, I remember whenever I was beginning preaching, computers were just coming out. And there was the type that you just typed, you saw the little green letters on the screen. But then an amazing thing happened. It was all sorts of graphics. And I learned the phrase WYSIWYG. It's an acronym. What you see is what you get. In other words, that's really what it is. You don't have to guess. It shows what it is. We know as children of God, that's what God expects us to do. He says, let your light so shine that men may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Do you notice that? He said, you, me, we're the ones that shine a light. We're the ones that do works. But those works, because of who we are, point to the Father. But it's something that comes from us. You know, go out and look around and at this situation surrounding us, you'll see people with masks. And that's good. Protect one another. You know, that's the way it is. But whenever you look at those masks, I hope that reminds us that God doesn't like masks. Again, not the physical mask you put there, but the mask in which is Jesus condemned? I call him Lord, Lord. But then I don't do the things that he says. Luke 6:46, Jesus asked people why they did that. He was really asking, why are you wearing that mask? Don't wear a mask in service to God. Be what you are, one whose heart and soul has been given unto God, who now has risen to walk in the newness of life with Him. Thank you for listening. Thank you for taking the time to watch this short devotional. We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you'll be notified of other devotionals that will be forthcoming. Also, we encourage you to join us online live as we stream our services at each service time. More information can be found on our website at the link below. Thank you.